Welcome back, everyone. I'm excited about bringing on my next guest. And, you know, if you're a senior, if you are a family to a senior, I'm going to talk about my next guest a lot in just a minute here. I have with me Scott Fischer. He's the owner of Options for Senior Living. Welcome back to the show. I do want you, first off, to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and about what you do, but then I get a chance to talk about you too. Go ahead.
Great. All right. Well, thank you. It's great to be back. I've been a nurse. Well, I'm not still practicing a nurse, but I went to nursing school back in the 80s from Arizona State University. My healthcare career took a turn back in 2003 where I started a company called Options for Senior Living, and we serve as a guide and a consultant helping families find the right long-term care solution for a loved one. Our services are free to families. We get paid by contractual relationship with hundreds and hundreds of senior living operators around the valley. We are in year 23. We've helped 4,500 families or so with that, and several thousand others with questions and other resources that they've needed along the way for their journey.
Well, I'm going to also talk about you now. First of all, when you think about a advocate, that your picture should be right there in the dictionary, right next to that word, because you are a seniors advocate and all things for them. And I want to talk about what you've done, because let me say something. In this industry, with seniors, unfortunately, they can be taken, right? And we all know that. And you have made it so that it has become safer for them to work with certain types of people.
Right.
I want you to talk about the organization too.
Thank you. 2009, 2010, I was just minding my own business. I was invited by a good friend of mine who's also in this placement industry. And I want to say, 2007, 8, 9, there had been a lot of bad ink and press about us. There was a lot of talk amongst professionals about this unregulated, unlicensed group of people that were greedy and off base with their ethics, and just a lot of unethical kinds of things that were being discussed. And so I got invited to a group at the Area Agency on Aging, where you have all of these players around that are stakeholders in the city that are concerned about people in their aging journeys. The Attorney General's office was there, Department of Health, In-Home Care Associations, Better Business Bureau, and the Ombudsman. And we got our fingers wagged at us, Rita and I, by the Ombudsman, saying somebody needs to do something about you blank placement folks. And they went on to list all of the egregious behavior of our industry. Quick story then, we were dumbfounded. We had no idea what to do. The director of the program met with me afterwards and said, there's another industry, the In-Home Care Association, Arizona In-Home Care, ASNAHA, was formed about 2 years prior, that oversees and provided best practices for companies that provide that unskilled, non-medical care. Our buddy Tiffany is a company that's part of that group. So our group formed, PASSERS, the Professional Association of Senior Referral Specialists, formed as modeled after this group, ASNAHA, and it was the first place in the country where best practices and a code of ethics was written for people that do this business of placement. I served it for 8 years as the lead and head of that organization. They're still going strong. We just had our 15th anniversary in a conference this summer. In 2017, then we had a model to take that national. It was kind of off in the distance kind of a plan or idea. You always have to be careful what you say out loud, because it has a way of coming together. There's now a National Placement and Referral Alliance. I was on the founding board of directors of that. I served for 5 years on the board as the director of chapter development. We put 7 chapters outside of Phoenix into the group, and now there are 33 chapters, 1,000 members across the country.
That's awesome.
And I just pushed the rock. I just felt like I did my part for a while. I'm a huge advocate for best practices in a non-regulated industry, Carol. Anybody can do this. Tomorrow you can be a senior advocate, you can be an expert. Nobody would know the difference. Mm-hmm. There are online operators that present themselves to families as they're the experts. They're the ones that have all the answers. And my point of view was, look, if anybody's coming into this and they encounter me, we're gonna talk about best practices, because if you should do this business, you should do it at that level,
Right.
at a standard that's accepted and respected across the country.
The seniors, they deserve it,
Yeah, oh yeah.
right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, and I want you to put this number down, because, let me say this. We've talked about this just before you came on. A lot of times people call you when?
In the crisis.
In the crisis.
Yep, we want them
right?
to call before the crisis.
Before the crisis. So that's why I'm gonna put this number out, and I'm put it in your phone, because if you have a senior, I'm telling you right now, you never know when it's gonna happen. And you could think, oh no, they're strong, they're fine. They could fall. We talked about that, people falling
Right.
earlier. And the next thing you know, you are in a crisis. That phone number to call is 602-845-1320. He's valley-wide. He's A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. This is a free service to you. It makes sense to speak to him. And the reason why is because when you talk and you do an assessment, you come in and you look around and see what's going on, and we talk about that in a minute. But you already know, just by talking to them, all where they probably are gonna like.
Right. It's a big part of our service as a local advisor that we are experts in the resources of our community. It's part of my mantra. It's right on my website. And as my kids have now come to work for us this last year, they've heard me preach it. And we don't refer to places that we aren't visiting, that we haven't seen. You get people that get engaged with these online operators, and the advisors have never seen, and they don't have any idea the other people that are there and what the mix of the population is, or what services that
You know
do.
exactly what's going on.
We do know what's going on, and then that's why people, we really, encourage people to use a local advisor like us that has walked the walk and been in those places and regularly and routinely goes back to revisit. And we also then do a little deeper dive. The State Department of Health has public records on that. We review those, Google reviews, Yelp, all that, so that we can give families the right guidance.
What do people say most of the time after they've worked with you?
I wish I had done this sooner.
I wish I would done
Yeah,
this sooner.
that's,
Mhm.
and it's so funny, because even my aunts and uncles were struggling with my grandmother a number of years ago, and of course, after Grandma got over being mad about it, she was the ringleader in the facility, and everybody,
Usually the case.
she was the ringleader. So she was the first one I heard say that 20 years ago.
Now, I know, and I want to talk about really quickly, you have some senior resource, you're going to be doing these, I don't know if you want to call them, well, they're what are
Like
they?
Education events. So,
They're event, okay.
yeah, because there's a huge education and information gap for the adult kids, people my age, that I've got a mom whose journey takes a lot of time, and it's a part of my life. And so for the adult children, we started another business called Senior Resource Connectors, which focuses our education and outreach to those folks. We want them to be prepared to deal with the things that are going to be happening in their loved ones'
I wish I
lives.
had that. I wish
Well-
I wish I knew somebody who would go to it.
Yeah, well, Connectors is now, we've got 4 events coming up later this fall in November. We are doing them around the city. Phoenix gets one, Scottsdale gets one, Peoria gets one, and Chandler gets one.
And can anybody go? How do they go?
This is free to the public.
Mhm.
We are inviting the community to come be a part of this. Myself, one of our attorney partners, and a buddy of mine from the Phoenix Fire Department and the Right Care Foundation. The issue, the topic of the conferences or the education events is staying safely at home. It's not to talk them into moving out. It's how do we help prepare people to safely stay at home. And the fire department has, unfortunately, a first row view at what's going on in people's homes. So Steve's going to be a part of that. We want to invite the community to join us with those. We want to help people be prepared.
You'll be prepared. You're going to get resources, I'm sure, of
We are.
all sorts of things that
And
you can.
our other partners will be there. There's about 35 companies that we represent at Senior Resource Connectors, so it's our sister company.
I'm going to give it out. So November 5th
Right.
at the Biltmore at the Embassy Suite. We're going to do. It's going to be November 12th at the Scottsdale Mustang Library. November 13th at Club West Golf Course in Peoria, and November 19th at the Chandler Guild Mortgage Conference Center. So I'm going to say this information again, but I think it's really important. I think you're going to have it up on your website soon.
Yep.
And so it's important for people to know that these are things that other people do for you guys out there.
Yep.
That are all, is it free?
This is free.
It's free.
This
It's
is
free for everybody, and it's information. And information, I don't care what anybody says, it gives you power. And having your parents knowing that your family member is safe, it's what it's all
It's
about.
peace of mind.
Absolutely.
It's totally peace of mind, yeah.
Now you got to check out their website. It's options with an S for seniorliving.com. Their phone number to call, and I'm serious, put this phone number in your phone because you never know when you're going to need it, and ask the questions way in advance. 602-845-1320. They're valley-wide. This is a free service to you. It just makes sense to give them a call. We're still on fire here. We're live on Facebook. So I want to make sure I write that down. Staying safely at home, or
Yep.
staying safe?
Staying safely.
Safely.
Safely at home.
Safely. I want to write that down.
Yeah.
Okay. So when will you have that on? You got to get that up on your website, okay?
It's on the Connector's website
It
now.
is. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and it's on our Facebook, all of our social media.
When we get back, I'm going to talk about the family members and that what we had mentioned before about family members not being so family members. Right? Yeah. I'm sorry that that kind of things are happening, but it's also not.
Yeah.
When you find that out, it's just kind of upsetting to you. I would think, more than anything, what do you do then? Do you want to try and get the senior placed as soon as possible so they're away from that, or how does that work?
In this case, we want him to have the right legal representatives in
Number
place. Yeah. Number two, to have an attorney redo a real will, not him write on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Carol can have the house. So that protects. Just get that intruder out of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Then we talked about various aspects of him. How's he going to pay for care? His income is relatively low. This gentleman was a Vietnam veteran. He served during wartime, and so he's likely eligible for some veterans aid money that we talked about with Tiffany, but the veterans aid benefits probably apply to him. Get his income up to around $4,000, and then if he chooses to move out of the house, we could liquidate the house, and then he'd have about $300,000
Do
to live
you all
on.
get on that, or no, you don't do that, or do you?
I have realtors that are experienced in these elder care scenarios,
Okay.
and there's even some funding from some of them up front. So let's say they really don't have any money, they got a kind of a low budget, maybe no money in the bank. All the money's in the equity in the house. So I've got a realtor that will front them $20,000 or $30,000.
Oh, that's nice.
And then they can pay for the first couple of months, so they can get the house cleaned out, cleaned up, maybe touched up, pay for the care over here, and then out of the proceeds at closing, escrow then cuts the realtor a check for the upfront money, or takes it out of the proceeds to the sale.
I would never ask you this on air, but I'm asking now. Do you find that you meet a lot of people here that don't have a lot of money, or do most people have a decent amount of money? Is it the completely opposite?
There's quite a few folks that are just totally stuck. And our Medicaid program is getting smoked. It's overwhelmed, and about 80% of the people that are applying are getting denied on their first go round.
That's sad.
It's sad, but if you want to talk about that, I'd be happy to touch on it. Yeah.
We can? Okay. So welcome back, everyone. We're live on Facebook. So hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to share the show later on. You know, I do talk to Facebook land a little bit at the break. So we keep on going in here, and we always learn so much more, right?
Could we, if we share that those dates for the conferences and the times, could we share that and get it on your Facebook page?
Absolutely. We'll
You
put
can
it
get
up
the
there.
senior resource
We'll put it
connectors.
on there.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on you know how I put all that information
Yep.
on there? I'll put them all there.
Perfect.
So it'll be on my Facebook page, and you can go to Networking Arizona, and it'll probably be up there within the next day or two, because
Yep.
I gotta get it
I'll
from him.
get that too.
And then, yes, and we'll share it even now, because these educational events that he is putting on are free for you guys out there, that if you have a senior, if you're a parent, if you're a child of a senior, I'm sorry, this is something that you're gonna wanna go to. And they're gonna be November 5th at the Biltmore Embassy Suites, November 12th at the Scottsdale Mustang Library, November 13th at the Club West Golf Course in Peoria, and November 19th at the Chandler Guild Mortgage Conference Center. You gotta go.
You can I just say,
Yeah.
you in your guest earlier, all-star showers, the renos in the shower, 80% of the falls at homes are happening in the bathrooms. Our fire department friends are running out, picking people up and getting in people's homes. Falls are the #1 healthcare risk to our aging population. Alzheimer's disease and falls, they're kind of 1 and 1, right? And so the issue, the state is very invested in helping people stay safely at home. We have to learn how to age safely and take the burden off the cities and the fire and the first responders and transfer that out to it's our personal responsibility, so.
And you know what, I'm so glad you said that, because most of us, we don't ever think about that, right?
Right.
And just, let me just tell you something, when your parent falls, or somebody falls, and that fireman has to go out there, and sometimes they're not going one time, it's up to 4 times that they could possibly even have to
Right.
be going.
Right.
And it's really, that's not what we want. We want them to be fighting fires, not picking up our.
We do, and the cities are keeping track of how many times they're going to certain addresses. It's a significant problem that's not being highlighted enough, so we're gonna be doing that in these events.
That's awesome.
My buddy from the fire department's gonna be there, he runs his own, nonprofit organization called the Right Care Foundation and Right Care Ministry, so you're gonna hear a lot more about that from me as we get closer to it.
So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was family members
Mhm.
that are not always the nicest family members in the world, right?
Yeah.
And when this is something that's a topic that you have to talk about, unfortunately it happens. You got a story?
I do, and sometimes I feel like, when I come to see you, when we share, it's like, here's the current event of the week, right? And so in the last couple of weeks, here's my current event. I went and visited with a family yesterday. Gentleman that his sister came in from Chicago, his brother-in-law came in from Southern California. He lives here in the West Valley. He has, by all accounts, some early to mid-stage dementia. I did not meet this gentleman because his family was there to represent him. He had been recently in the hospital. He has a younger female friend living with him who is there as his caregiver, but she's not always the caregiver, because sometimes she takes off and leaves him. They're concerned that he shouldn't be at home alone at all, managing his medicines and his own decision-making and such, meals and all of it. And there's a will now that's been handwritten that the house is going to the friend. Yeah, and so I'm not saying anything's nefarious going on here, but on, the smell test.
Sure
it's like,
sounds like it to me, I'll say it.
Smells a little, something's not right.
Fishy.
And so, his twin sister's here to protect him, and because he has no other family, and so they're down meeting with me about various things. Now, there's an issue that his powers of attorney have not been adequately executed, so he's got nobody to be his legal representative that is trustworthy or family. Number 2, he's maybe giving his house away. Number 3, he's in a situation where, because of his memory loss, he probably needs, sooner than later, some sort of 24/7 supervised living. He doesn't need memory care probably quite yet, but at least assisted living where they've got eyes on him and managing his care and his meals and his safety and all that. And so I'm going through, several scenarios with these guys over an hour and a half, meeting with them and helping them get resources to get documents done while they're here visiting, and getting that situation maybe with the will corrected with an attorney, and then going through the because he served our country in Vietnam, he's probably eligible for the Veteran Aid and Attendant benefit. So now I've got another resource coming in to the family about helping them get that benefit secured. That's another $2,400 a month income that he can use towards his care. And then if he ever needs help selling the house, I work with several realtors who are experienced in these more aging individuals, challenging scenarios, get their house sold, get the most money for them so that we can use that money for his care. So we're probably helping them with like 5 or 6 resources.
That's amazing.
With just that one phone call. And
Right.
but it starts with this situation with the friend who's.
Yeah, that's really
yeah.
sad. But I was asking you too, because there are people out there that just, they don't have money.
Mhm.
Or they don't even have a home that they could sell.
Right.
What do people do?
Yeah, this is a real challenge for the system. Our state of Arizona has a Medicaid-backed program that we call Arizona Long-Term Care, or ALTCS, ALTCS. And it is there for people who financially and medically qualify for in-home care or assisted living, for some sort of extended long-term care. The key is it has to be physically necessary, medically necessary, as well as financially. It's not just being broke. My own mom has several, if we gave her the test, the medical test, she'd get several points. She just wouldn't get 60 points. And you need 60 points to.
They always have a caveat.
It's a high
somewhere.
number to qualify for benefits. I've always said for years, you have to fail the test to pass to get the benefits. You get various points for certain diagnoses. A dementia diagnosis brings 20 points, but you gotta have a lot of need for a lot of help in order to qualify. About 80% of Arizonans that are applying for the program for the first time are being denied. So the question is, what happens to all these folks that don't have any money?
Mhm.
And what do you do with them? We have to be really creative. There are more and more assisted living homes that will help us on those, when they come into my world, we're gonna help us on the low income stuff. Where we can help get families to kick in or help. My brothers and I help make up the difference for my own mom. I mean, I'm living it. But even in that, there's people that are even beyond that. The Foundation for Senior Living, the
I'm
Area
glad.
Agency on Aging, and their senior helpline certainly have resources at their fingertips for those very low income and very difficult situations. The senior helpline is,
Unfortunately, it's so expensive.
just since COVID, the in-home care costs have skyrocketed. Assisted living care costs have skyrocketed related to the care. Wages are up. Services are down, wages are up.
Yeah.
Satisfaction is often down
Mhm.
because care staff is really at a premium, and the good ones are at a real premium. We have a labor issue. You'll be seeing more and more tech solutions to kind of get into the game here, using this AI technologies and various things that'll help monitor and keep people safe in the absence of other live caregivers.
Now, we have a couple minutes. I
Okay.
just want you to tell them when you talk to somebody that's called, you go on a tour with you. It's fun.
Yes, yes.
Go on a couple of them.
We do. Our process is, it starts with that face-to-face meeting every time, and like I did yesterday, went out and met a family face-to-face. Once we take that, then we do our homework, set up tours. Just like a realtor, we go take a look at a bunch of houses on a Saturday. We do the same thing with senior living. And so we'll set up the tours, we go with you, we are your guide. We want to experience and see and smell and meet the people in those communities so that the family can literally picture or see their loved one there. And my job is to get the connection there between the company and the family.
They're the people to call. The phone number is 602-845-1320. They're valley-wide, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. This is a free service to you, and so important that you call somebody who's going to be able to help you with all your resources that you're going to need. He's fantastic. That number again is 602-845-1320. The website is options with an S for seniorliving.com.